Good evening and welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Lipakshi Khurana. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Monday, the 3rd of December. Survivors recall horror on 34th anniversary of Bhopal gas leak tragedy. Activists condemn Pakistan's move to give interim province status to Gilgit Baltistan. And Sri Lankan Prime Minister Rajapaksa calls for elections to end political crisis. And now for all the details. 34 years on, the horrors are still fresh in the memories of the survivors of what is arguably the world's worst industrial disaster, the Bhopal gas tragedy of 1984 in India's central Bhopal city. The tragic incident had killed thousands of people and affected over 500,000.
34 years on, the horrors are still fresh in the memories of the survivors of the night of what is arguably the world's worst industrial disaster, the gas leak incident on the night of 2nd and 3rd December 1984 at the pesticide plant in India's central city of Bhopal. Hazrabi was one of many who were affected by what later came of being known as the Bhopal gas tragedy of 1984. The after effects took her husband and many other relatives who couldn't shake off the chemicals that had made a house in their bodies.
कोई कह रहा हमारा पति नहीं है, कोई कह रहा हमारी बीवी नहीं है, कोई कह रहा हमारे बच्चे नहीं है, कोई कह रहा हमारा परिवार पूरा बिछड़ गया। जहाँ जिसका दिल चाहे वो भागे, कोई नाले में गिर गए, कोई रोडों पर पड़े, कोई गलियों में लाशें पड़ी। ये आलम उस रात का था।
Meanwhile, the family members and survivors of the incident took to the streets of Bhopal on Sunday, participating in candlelight vigil, empathizing with the thousands who lost their lives that night. Activists estimate 25,000 deaths due to the leak and from illnesses, some of them even congenital. Many people still suffer from respiratory problems, blindness, and immune and neurological disorders with little support, they say.
Moving on, activists have strongly objected to Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan's approval in principle to change the status of illegally occupied Gilgit Baltistan to an interim province. They expressed the move is clearly illegal by international norms, UN resolutions on Kashmir and the Constitution as well.
Activists have strongly condemned Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan's approval in principle to change the status of illegally occupied Gilgit Baltistan to an interim province. Activists have expressed trying to annex Gilgit Baltistan as Pakistan's 5th province is clearly illegal by international norms, UN resolutions on Kashmir and Constitution as well.
I would like to remind Mr. Khan that Gilgit Baltistan is part of state of Jammu and Kashmir, and the issue remains on the agenda of United Nations Security Council still to be resolved according to the wishes and will of the people of Jammu and Kashmir.
तो मैं मजम्मत करता हूँ इस सारे पाकिस्तान की इन कोशिशों की कि किस तरीके से वो गिलगित बल्तिस्तान के वसाइल और लोगों को किस तरीके से वो डरा धमका कर जनाब वाला उन्होंने रखा हुआ है, बल्कि जो भी शख्स इस CPEC के ख़िलाफ़ बोलता है, हकूक़ की बात करता है, पाकिस्तान के हुक्मरान उनको जेल में बंद कर देते हैं.
Gilgit Baltistan, a part of the erstwhile Jammu and Kashmir province of India, was annexed by Pakistan more than 6 decades ago. It has been under a corrupt administration since then, and locals have been struggling for their basic rights. Activists allege Pakistan uses force against those who try to raise their voices for their rights and against the establishment.
In news from Afghanistan, people in Afghanistan's Paktia province on Sunday held a protest calling government forces to protect civilians in their operations. The protest came against what people called the killing of 12 civilians in a military operation by Afghan and foreign forces.
Residents of Zurma district in Afghanistan's Paktia province on Sunday launched a protest against what they call the killing of 12 civilians in a military operation by Afghan and foreign forces. The protesters brought bodies of those killed in the operation to Gardej city, the provincial capital, and asked security forces to prevent civilian casualties during their operations. The protesters, who mostly were relatives of the victims, warned they will not bury the bodies unless government punishes those who have killed the civilians.
سرن داسې کېږي چې د خلکو کورونه هم ډېر کله د جنگ د سنگر په توګه استعمالېږي دا هم یوه غلطي ده او د دې حقایقو نه هم باید تېر نه شو. په دې 18 کالو کې موږ ډېر ولیدل چې تیاره راغله تیارې حتی په یو دغسې یوه ډله لکه موږ چې ولاړو په دې هم بمباري وکړه د موږ نظامي پوستې وویشتې.
This is not the first time that civilians have been killed in operations by Afghan and foreign forces against the Taliban and other militant groups. Reports indicate that over 30 civilians were killed in military operations in different parts of the country in the past 2 weeks.
More on news from Afghanistan. A photo exhibition was recently organized in Afghanistan's Kabul city, displaying pictures of 4 influential Afghan women who have played vital roles in enhancing the lives of others. The event aimed to spread the message of no to discrimination against women in the country.
A photographer in Afghanistan recently put on display photos of 4 influential Afghan women who have played vital roles in enhancing the lives of the people. The exhibition was held in Afghan capital Kabul, displayed photos of 2 activists working for women and street children, 1 freelance journalist and a doctor. The photographer, Faiz Ahmad Sedak, said he aimed to tell the stories of women working outside home and raise awareness against gender discrimination in the society.
جاهای ما به ما ایره گفته که زنان نصف نفوس جامعه را تشکیل میده. اگر ما زنان در جامعه فعال نباشیم به این معناست که نصف نفوس جامعه فعال نیست.
در جامعه هستیم که وقتی میبینیم مشکلات ها و محدودیت ها برای طبقه اوناس خیلی زیاد است. و وقتی ما به خودم دیدم ما کسی بودم که میتونستم بر علاوه که به خودم یک کار انجام بدم برای اونها یک کار میتونستم.
Photography can play an effective role in reflecting such success stories and bringing a change in the society. With the same objective of bringing some change, Siddharth through the event tried to show the influential lives of the women, which would inspire other women too.
Moving on to news from Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka's controversially appointed Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa has demanded to hold fresh polls to restore stability in the country. The island nation is witnessing a political crisis since President Maithripala Sirisena sacked Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe and installed Rajapaksa in his place on October 26th.
After failing to prove his majority in the parliament twice, controversially appointed Sri Lankan Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa on Sunday demanded holding a general election to end the ongoing political crisis in the country. Sri Lanka is witnessing a political crisis since President Maithripala Sirisena's controversial move to sack Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe and install Rajapaksa in his place on October 26th. Sirisena said he replaced Wickremesinghe with pro-China former leader Mahinda Rajapaksa because of policy differences and a sharp rise in corruption. The president later dissolved the parliament almost 20 months before its term was to end and ordered snap election. The Supreme Court overturned Sirisena's decision to dissolve the parliament and halted the preparations for snap polls. Both Wickremesinghe and Rajapaksa claim to be the prime ministers. Wickremesinghe says his dismissal is invalid because he still holds a majority in the 225-member parliament.
A huge flock of Siberian migratory birds has arrived in India's spiritual capital Varanasi to escape the extreme cold of their Arctic home grounds. Bird watchers and tourists have been gathering on the banks of river Ganges to catch a glimpse of the beautiful species of migratory birds.
A huge flock of Siberian migratory birds have arrived in India's spiritual capital, Varanasi, to escape the extreme cold of their Arctic home grounds. Bird watchers and tourists have been gathering on the banks of river Ganges in the city for a visual delight of migratory birds. People were seen taking boat rides to go close to the migratory birds floating on the water. The arrival of the migratory birds also brings cheer for the boatmen who earn handsome amounts ferrying batches of tourists closer to the birds multiple times in a day.
बहुत ही सुंदर जैसे ही हम नाव से बीच में गए और हम लोग को तो उम्मीद ही नहीं थी कि ऐसा कुछ होने वाला है और बस हाथ में हमने जैसे ही दाने का वो किया डाला एकदम से बहुत सारी चिड़िया एकदम से आ गई। बहुत ही खूबसूरत नज़ारा, बहुत ही मज़ा आ गया, आनंद आ गया।
देखिए, हमारे यहाँ जो सबसे बड़ा वाटर बॉडी है वो रिवर गंगा है, और यहाँ पर अक्टूबर मंथ से जब ठंड स्टार्ट होती है तो बेसिकली साइबेरिया से और माइग्रेटरी बर्ड्स जो हैं बड़ी दूर से आती हैं, और ये वाइट कलर की बर्ड्स हैं और गंगा में ही रहती हैं, और पर्यटकों के लिए इसलिए आकर्षण का केंद्र है क्योंकि इस तरीके की बर्ड्स उनको और कहीं देखने को नहीं मिलती हैं।
With the onset of winter in the northern hemisphere, these birds spread their wings to begin a journey spanning thousands of miles to fly to the kinder atmosphere of Indian subcontinent. These birds start arriving in India from early November onwards and continue till December. They return to their homeland in the spring season.
In a simple yet unique wedding, around 52 underprivileged couples tied the nuptial knot during a mass marriage ceremony in India's northern Moradabad city. The gesture by the organisers aimed at reducing financial burden on the families of the brides.
In a gesture that proved to be a life-changing event for several underprivileged couples, a mass wedding ceremony was recently organised in Moradabad city of India's northern Uttar Pradesh province. At least 52 couples belonging to Hindu and Muslim communities tied the knot in the mass wedding ceremony organised by the provincial administration. More than 1,000 relatives and friends of the couples attended the wedding event. A cash assistance of nearly $286 and different jewellery items were also provided to the newlyweds as a gift from the administration.
51 जोड़ों की शादी का लक्ष्य रखा था, जिसमें लक्ष्य से ऊपर 52 जोड़े चिन्हित किए गए, जो मुख्यमंत्री जी का दिशा निर्देश है, जिसमें पात्र लोग जो धन के अभाव में शादी विवाह सही से नहीं कर पाते, उनके लिए एक समायोजित तरीके से एक स्थान निश्चित करके यहाँ पे उन जोड़ों का विवाह आज संपन्न कराया गया है।
Mass weddings are becoming very popular, especially among economically backward sections of the Indian society, as these reduce the financial burden on the parents or guardians of the brides.
A family of 181 members has been living under one roof for the past many years in India's northeastern Mizoram province. The grand family includes its 73-year-old head, Ziona, his 39 wives, 94 children, 14 daughters-in-law and 33 grandchildren.
Having the distinction of being the largest family in the world, a total of 181 members of a single family have been living under one roof for the past many years in Aizawl, the capital city of India's northeastern Mizoram province. The family includes 73-year-old head Ziona, his 39 wives, 94 children, 14 daughters-in-law and 33 grandchildren. The family is self-reliant in terms of food, lodging and everything else. While the women take care of household chores like cooking and cleaning, the men attend to their family occupations, including breeding of animals, growing crops and selling furniture.
Kedi som thum bor vel kan sim chu. Kedi som thum bor vel chu voi khate. Oh, voi khata jing le la ya. Jing a som thum la ya som thum jang.
Chuanin ani le.
Oh, jing a som thum.
Oh.
According to reports, Ziona's first wife, whom he married at the age of 17, runs the household from inside, and all the other wives respect and follow her commands. They believe in living in harmony with each other by sharing the workload to ensure smooth functioning of the family.
Well, that's all we have for you from South Asia this evening. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.